Now we're going to be rounding 16 and 53 hundredths to the tenths, whole, and tens place. So I'm going to start by rounding to the tenths place. I can see that there's 5 tenths in our number. So I'm going to write at the start 16 and 5 tenths. Because I'm looking at the tenths, I'm going to add 1 tenth to this. So 16 and 5 tenths, add 1 more tenth, is 16 and 6 tenths. Now I see there's still 10 spaces in between 16 and 5 tenths and 16 and 6 tenths. I know that I can add 10 hundredths to equal 1 more tenth. So here I'm going to write 16 and 51 hundredths. I can also remember this because 16 and 5 tenths is the same as 16 and 50 hundredths, and 16 and 6 tenths is the same thing as 16 and 60 hundredths. So I can really just be adding 1 hundredth each time. Now I'm going to plot 16 and 53 hundredths on our number line. I can see it's right here. I see that 16 and 53 hundredths is only 3 away from 16 and 50 hundredths, and 7 away from 16 and 60 hundredths. So I can see that 16 and 53 hundredths is much closer to 16 and 5 tenths, or 16 and 50 hundredths. Now I'm going to round to the whole number, which we know is the ones place. I'm going to look at my number and see that there are 6 ones. If you look at the whole thing, there's really 16 ones. So I know that's my starting number, 16. 1 more than 16 is 17. Once again, I have 10 spaces in between 16 and 17, so I know I can add 10 tenths to equal 1 more whole. So I'm going to start by including the tenths, 16 and 1 tenth, 16 and 2 tenths, and so on. Now I'm going to plot my number, 16 and 53 hundredths. I know it's between 16 and 5 tenths and 16 and 6 tenths. I also can see that from up here. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my number in between those two. And now I can see, even though it's close, 16 and 53 hundredths is just a little bit closer to 17. So 16 and 53 hundredths, when rounded to the nearest whole, or ones place, is 17. Lastly, I'm going to round 16 and 53 hundredths to the tens place. I'm going to look and I see, oops, I have 1 10. So I'm going to start my number line at 10. Add 1 10 to the 1 10 we already have. That's 2 tens, or 20. I know to get from 10 to 20 with 10 spaces in between, I'm going to add 1 each time. So I'm going to put 11 here, 12, and so on. Now I'm going to plot 16 and 53 hundredths on the number line. I know 16 and 53 hundredths is in between 16 and 17. I can also look at the number line right above it to see that's between 16 and 17. I'm going to plot my point, and now I'm going to see if it's closer to 10 or 20. I can see that it's about over 6 away from 10, but less than 4 away from 20. So I'm going to round up to 20. 16 and 53 hundredths, when rounded to the nearest 10, is 20.